Hello, I'm Supervisor Anne Marie Graham-Hudak, and welcome to the Supervisor Summary, where we highlight items of interest from the most recent Board of Trustees meetings. First up at the October 24th board meeting were two presentations. The first was Airspace Link, a company that studies the safe integration of drones into the national airspace and communities through digital infrastructure, strategic partnerships, and thought leadership. The second presentation was from the Cultural Commission, which presented its annual report of activities done throughout the year. This commission serves as advocates in promoting public awareness of culture, arts, and heritage in the greater Canton community. On the consent calendar, the board was happy to authorize permits for two Diwali-related fireworks displays. Canton Celebration will take place on Friday, October 27th, and the BAPS Hindu Temple display will take place at approximately 8:30 p.m. on Sunday, November 12th at 3339 Canton Center Road. Please keep these dates in mind and plan accordingly if anyone in your household is sensitive to firework activity. On the general calendar, the board began with a special land use and site plan amendment for the redevelopment of the mobile gas station and convenience store on the southwest corner of Joy and Haggerty Road. The current site is a gas station and car wash. The proposed redevelopment would demolish the car wash, add a convenience store, and relocate the diesel canopy and pumps. Next, the board awarded a contract to ADT Peerless Environmental Services to perform a Phase 2 environmental assessment and baseline assessment at the Village Arts Factory Warehouse in Cherry Hill Village. These assessments are part of the township's due diligence process prior to closing on the purchase of the Village Arts Factory properties. The board then authorized Canton's Engineering Services retention of Spalding DeDecker Associates, or SDA, for design and construction engineering services for the 2024 Residential Roads Improvement Program. The total for services is $474,600 for 2024, and this will be SDA's sixth year providing the critical management of the residential road improvement projects. Next, the board approved a contract for budget amendment for Canton Sports Center walk improvements. In 2019, the township developed an ADA transition plan identifying deficiencies or barriers in Canton Township's policies, procedures, practices, and physical assets that limit accessibility to individuals with disabilities. As part of the action plan to remove accessibility barriers and bring Canton's parks in compliance with ADA regulations. Item G5 was a request to consider the award of Community Development Block Grant Housing Rehabilitation Contracts. Under Canton's Affordable Housing Program, federal dollars are used to pay for major and minor repairs to owner-occupied single-family homes in Canton. In instances where the formal bids come in higher than the allowable limits, we work with the contractor to change the scope slightly to come within those limits. The board then approved a budget amendment and purchase order for repair of projectors at the Village Theater. The two largest projectors at the theater are used extensively for the majority of backgrounds, sets, and graphics projected on stage. Next, the board considered the approval of a commercial use of the Cherry Hill School by Hazel Coffee. Hazel Coffee has been leasing space in the Village Arts Factory this year and has been a vendor at the Canton Farmers Market. The use of the Cherry Hill School on a part-time basis and in cooperation with all other current uses of the space has been identified as a mutual benefit for both the township and Hazel Coffee. Item G8 asked the board to consider approval of an expense increase of $40,000 for the agreement with Livonia Aquatics. With the Summit on the Park Aquatic Center being closed for approximately 3.5 months due to the tile project, the township has worked out agreements with 3 surrounding communities to allow Summit members to use their aquatic center during the closure: Romulus Athletic Center, Washtenaw, and Livonia. After receiving our first invoice from each community center, which covers the first 6 weeks of service, we found that the Livonia facility received approximately 1,000 visits from Canton members, totaling $19,000 during this time. This cost prompted Canton staff to see if an agreement could be worked out to lower the cost per visit. The Livonia Council will vote at their November 15th meeting to see if they agree to charge Canton residents their resident fee of $9.50 per visit, retroactive beginning November 1st, 2023. The $40,000 is anticipated to cover the additional charges. Item G12, the board waived the bidding process and authorized an agreement with Partners in Architecture for architectural and engineering services for Fire Station Number 4. The total cost for the proposed services is $570,900, and the fire department requested waiving the bidding process and using PIA due to their ability to provide an aggressive timeline by reutilizing design and documentation from the Fire Station Number 2 project. Next, the board approved the alterations to the wages for part-time election inspectors based on a salary study of poll workers from 16 jurisdictions and 11 entry-level service sector jobs, which demonstrates compensation has risen substantially. The board concurred with the Election Commission and approved the new wage structure. The board then approved benefit enhancements for all full-time Canton employees. While the township offers an extensive benefit package currently to remain competitive and assist with retention, the township found several areas that could be enhanced. These areas include increasing dental maximums, adding vision insurance, increasing life insurance benefits, as well as increasing the long-term disability maximum. The enhancements apply to all union and merit employees, full-time elected officials, and full-time appointed officials. Next, the board approved a lease agreement between Canton Township and the Canton Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber will be leasing a lower-level meeting room in the Canton Administration Building for the next year with a possible one-year extension if requested by the tenant. The Chamber will pay $750 a month and will be responsible for all interior maintenance and repairs, interior decorations, and related services. The board then approved a lease between the Partnership for the Arts and Humanities and Canton Township. With the township's purchase of the Village Arts Factory, there was a desire for the partnership for the arts to remain in the commercial space commonly known as the Partnership for the Arts Warehouse and the Veterans Dormitory. The proposed lease is for 48 months with a lease rate of $2,000 per month and only goes into effect if and when the sale of the factory is approved. The lease will automatically renew for another 4-year term after the first term has expired. Lastly, the board approved an airspace assessment of Canton Township to be performed by Airspace Link. This company will perform an unmanned aircraft system readiness assessment that will help evaluate and understand Canton's readiness and objectives for drone integration for public safety as well as local businesses. And those are just some of the highlights from the October 24th Board of Trustees meeting. If you would like to hear more in-depth discussion about any one of these items, you can always watch the full board meeting on the Canton Community Television channel on YouTube. Thank you for watching.